And with the Occupy movement demonstrating resilience to police crackdowns and cynicism in the mainstream media, let's now talk to Abby Martin, founder of MediaRoots.org. And Abby's joining us live there in Oakland. I understand that you were actually at the protest yesterday, one of the biggest since the Occupy movement began. Do you think the message was brought across? Did you think you got your message across?
Well, it's funny. A lot of people try to paint this movement as, we're not unified, we don't have a cohesive message. But as far as I can see, we have one message, and it's corporate greed, and we're not standing for it anymore. And no matter what your signs say or what you're saying, it all stems from the same source, which is the corporate greed running amok. So I'd say that we did have a unified message. There were, I heard some estimates up to 20,000 people peacefully marching and successfully shutting down the port of Oakland, which was huge.
Yes, but let me just say, that would have upset many people. Shutting down America's 5th largest port. Is your message more important than the disruption you caused?
Well, I wouldn't really call it. It was almost necessary to get the point across. No one's really listening to us. The mainstream media is painting us as they're trying to marginalize this movement. So maybe it will take something like that to really get people to recognize our force.
Yeah, let's talk about the mainstream media. Obviously a bit of a battle now for you to convince them what your message really is. Some are saying, actually, you're just simply being envious of the rich. Your idea of, it's against corporate greed. This is just an envy of the rich, isn't it?
No, not at all. It's about the disenfranchisement and the cannibalization of social services and the extreme disparity that we're seeing. The rich keep getting richer. And I'm not just talking about people making $1 million a year. I'm talking about people making $500 million a year. We're talking about corporations not paying taxes. Why should we? There's a two-tiered justice system. The corporations are not held accountable for anything that they do, yet we are held to a different sort of justice system in America, and we're not standing for it anymore.
Well, Abby, it's a persuasive argument, and clearly you've got a lot of support for it. But as we've been talking, we've been showing some scenes of violence there in Oakland. Are you concerned that actually this movement could be hijacked by anarchists, as we've seen with other movements, and by people with actually nothing better to do?
Well, it's interesting that you see these anarchists come out when there's a peaceful protest. Where are they now? Why do they wait till there's a peaceful rally in order to go break stuff around town? It is true that there was violence in the streets last night. It was very scary. I felt like I was in a war zone in my own city. I got tear gassed very badly. I saw a dumpster being lit on fire, and I did see bottles thrown at the police officers after they tear gassed us. It is terrifying, but you have to ask yourself, we know for a fact there was a cop watch video done, an expose showing police working as undercover agents into the Occupy Oakland movement. So who are the provocateurs? If there was provocation in the group, is it undercover police? We don't know. All we know is that the masses, the overwhelming majority of us were remaining peaceful, urging people to remain peaceful, and you have 2 people throwing things and lighting a dumpster on fire. So were they cops? We don't know. But it's a shame to paint the whole movement as violent when it seems like there's just a few anarchists causing trouble.
Let me just ask you finally, there have been accusations that the movement is lacking coherence and focus, and there are too many messages within this movement. But nevertheless, do you think this could be a movement that would bring about a change in politics? We've obviously seen the Tea Party, which obviously represents something very different, but does the movement have aspirations for a new political movement now?
Absolutely. I think people are waking up to the two-party dictatorship. They're realizing that both parties mirror each other, and we're realizing that the political system doesn't represent us anymore. This country is founded on civil disobedience. It's protected in the First Amendment, our Bill of Rights. We have the right to peacefully assemble for a redress of grievances for our government if it doesn't represent us. And I think that the sit-ins, what if Rosa Parks was tear-gassed? We need to do this. We can't follow orders anymore to a government that doesn't represent us. So civil disobedience is the only way to go, and I definitely think this has enormous opportunity for massive change.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. Abby Martin, founder of MediaRoots.org. Pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
This is RT Live here in Moscow, 23 minutes past